can get started. We are live. So if you're not speaking, please put yourself into mute and we will get started. So welcome back. After 2 months of gap, we are restarting. So today we are restarting the Gita session and we completed up to chapter 5 as of July 6th, as reminded by Rohitji right now. So we are about to start chapter 6. But before we do anything, let's start with our prayer. So we have Anu also in the call. Anu, if you don't mind, if you could just do our invocation and then we can get started.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Thank you, Anu. So, welcome to the first session of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6. Every chapter of Bhagavad Gita is always interesting, and this is a very unique chapter. One of the reasons is this chapter can be considered as a summary of the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. This is one chapter known as Dhyana Yoga, or it is also known by Atma Samyama Yoga. Dhyana Yoga or Atma Samyama Yoga. Whatever name you select, these names are of course given by later people, not by Vyasa or Krishna. Both meanings are the same. The theme of this chapter or the subject matter of this chapter is nothing but meditation. And we will get started by giving some introduction on this topic, because I don't have to tell you, the word meditation is a fancy word in the modern world. A lot of people uses this term meditation without knowing the full depth and breadth of this term. Of course, there are several purposes for which you can use meditation, but in our scripture, it is used with a specific intent. So before we get started with the actual verses, it would be great if we understand in what context the word meditation is used. What exactly is the topic covered in this chapter? So what we are going to do today is, first, we are going to talk a little bit about meditation. First, before we start anything, we will start with a point and understand what exactly is meditation is not, as far as the teachings of the Gita and the Yoga Sutra is concerned. And what exactly is the purpose of meditation? We are going to see those 2 points first. Role of meditation, what it is not and what it is. So this is the first topic we are going to see. And after that, we are going to, as always, we will try to see the layout of this chapter, how this chapter is broken, what are all the major topics covered. So we will cover these topics. So please pay your attention. You don't have to study this afterwards. This will go into your head if you pay proper attention. If you meditate or if you give your concentration to this class, you will get it. My request is, please attend that 15 sessions. If you miss one session, please watch the video in YouTube before the next week's session and ask any number of questions you have. So let's try to make sure that this topic is clear to all of us. It's not very difficult. It will be clear to all of you if you put a little bit of effort and consistency. That is my only request. Anybody wants to chant and learn? Anu probably can help. Now Sanjay is also there. We have a lot of people who can professionally chant these verses. So they will be happy to help you. Anu and Sanjay, that would be okay, right? If anybody has any question on chanting certain verses, I would point out a few verses you need to memorize, because this chapter has some phenomenal verses which you can take home and memorize it. That is going to help you. So without any further delay, let's get started. Let me start with an off topic first. So somebody was asking me what exactly you are going to cover in the class today. I said Dhyanam. Then this person who is from a Buddhistic tradition, he was talking to me about the Zen Buddhism and the Zen meditation. Immediately I realized, if you remember the word Zen, this word Zen came from the Sanskrit word Dhyana. So this in Chinese, you could see this as Chan, the word Dhyanam. You can see this in the writings of Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma is somebody from India who went to China and taught these martial arts. He's the one who took the meditation to China. So this is just, by the way, a side topic. So let's go to the first topic. What is the role as Chan? The word Dhyana. You can see this in the writings of Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma is somebody from India who went to China and taught these martial arts. I don't know what happened. There is a technical glitch. So now it's okay. So we'll get started. So we'll go to the first topic. First thing we are going to see is what meditation is not, right? So we'll see. I told you two things we'll cover. First, we'll see what is meditation, and then we will see what it is not. So first, let's see. The first thing is, lot of people think that meditation is a means for liberation, self-knowledge or moksha. Anybody of you heard that point? Have you ever seen somebody saying that by meditating you can get moksha? If you read Purana, that is the picture you get, right? These sages will go to forest. They meditate for what?
To get the liberation.
This is wrong. That's why I start with this topic. Why? We have studied enough Gita, so it will be easy for you to understand. What is self-realization or moksha? I am going to see myself properly. That is the simple definition of moksha. Remember, if I see a snake in a rope, imagine, like in a dark light, I mistake a rope as a snake. If that happens, what is the realization one needs to get there? The realization there means it is the proper knowledge of the rope. If that person can see the rope as rope, that means he has the correct knowledge. So with respect to my understanding with myself, I take myself as the body. I take myself as the mind. I take myself as the individual me and get suffered. So self-realization is saying that you are not the body and the mind, but you are the consciousness and you have a body and the mind. That is the difference. So if the problem is an error in understanding, what is the solution? Correct understanding. So let's say that if somebody sees a snake, how can you correct his understanding? Only by giving proper knowledge. Any amount of time he sits and meditates, he will not see the rope. Remember the story of the 10th man? 10 people crossed the river and they started counting and he see only 9 people because he didn't count himself. And there was a lot of sorrow. I think there's a lot of noise. So it is taking my flow also away. So if you're not talking, you can go on mute. I don't know from where it is coming. Let's see. Okay, that's fine.
Not everybody is on mute, Rajesh.
Okay, that's fine. In between, it's affecting my own flow. Sorry about that.
You can mute everybody, I think. You can force mute everybody.
Yeah, then people cannot talk, right? So I don't want to do that. So I think, okay, now I think it's okay. So now it's fine. So meditation is not a means for gaining liberation. The means for gaining liberation is only knowledge. And this is clearly said by the Upanishad. The knowledge happens only through knowledge. One can gain liberation. Remember the story of the 10th man. Let's go back. That is what we were talking earlier. In that story of the 10th man was suffering. And the only way for him to get out of his suffering is what? Let's say that if I ask him to sit and pray to God, it will help him, but it will not solve the problem completely. The prayer will help him to calm the mind. And if I ask him to sit and meditate, that will not help him. The only way for him to get out of that sorrow is knowledge. So meditation is not a substitute for knowledge. This is not used for gaining liberation. There is the only way to get liberation is the knowledge, and that is point number 1. We just need to understand that properly. That is point number 1. So let's go to the next point. So the second thing is, if it is not liberation, can I use this as a means for gaining knowledge? If knowledge is the means for getting self-realization, can meditation be used to gain knowledge? There is a lot of misunderstanding. I don't want to call the lineage that spread this topic, but unfortunately, some teacher somewhere started teaching that Vedanta study is like a theory class and meditation is a practical class. Not at all. Meditation is not a means to gain knowledge. Knowledge is the business of the intellect. If you want to gain knowledge, you need to understand it. Meditation cannot be used as a means for gaining self-knowledge. This is topic number 2. Let's go to the topic number 3. So 2 things we said. The third one is, I'm not saying that meditation won't give mystical experience, but in Bhagavad Gita and Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is not used as a means for gaining mystical experience. We are not negating the fact that the meditation can give you some experience. I myself have seen somebody who can read your mind easily. So definitely the meditation can be used for gaining extraordinary concentration, but that's not the purpose. We use meditation in our studies, in the spiritual world. It is not a means for gaining mystical experiences. In fact, Patanjali, in his Yoga Sutra, chapter 3, he tells, if you get the mystical experience, reject it. Because otherwise, what is going to happen? You will gain some mystical experience, but you will stuck there. So in our Purana stories, you will see, right? All these asuras had this is a mythological way of telling this concept. A lot of these asuras, they do a lot of these meditations, they gain a lot of power. What happens? Eventually, they themselves get destroyed. So the purpose of the meditation, or the role of the meditation as a sadhana, we need to keep in mind that it is not for gaining liberation. It is not for gaining self-knowledge. It is not for gaining mystical experience. Patanjali in his Yoga Sutra tells, because if somebody thinks that, okay, this is a means for liberation, I would just request them to go to Patanjali Yoga Sutra itself, right? So Patanjali tells what? Purusha Prakriti Vivega Khyadihi Kaivalyaha. Purusha Prakriti Viveka Khyadihi Kaivalyaha, not Dhyanam. So what is Kaivalya or Moksha? It is the knowledge of the Purusha and the Prakriti. So that's very important. So let's recap quickly. Meditation is not a means for gaining liberation. Meditation is not a means for gaining self-knowledge. For gaining self-knowledge, you have to do Shravanam and Mananam under a teacher. There is no substitute to that. Just by sitting and meditating, I won't be mastered in nuclear physics, right? Just by sitting and meditating without studying, I won't be mastered in Vedanta or scriptures. So meditation is not a means for self-knowledge. Meditation should not be used, or you should not use meditation for gaining mystical experiences. These are the 3 points. Topic number 1. Now, a lot of people thought that these are the purpose of meditation. If that is not, what exactly is the purpose of meditation? We studied enough Gita, right? So let's try to understand what is the role of meditation. The first and foremost role of meditation is known as, it is for the preparation of the mind. Preparation of the mind. Let's take a simple example. Suppose you want to study something. You have an exam. You want to master a subject, or you want to focus and work. If your mind is disturbed, can you do well? Forget about the spiritual goal. Any goal you pursue in your life, if my mind is not calm and stable, what is going to happen? It will not work. Do you disagree? Anybody disagree? If the mind is not stable, if the mind is not calm, can you do something creative? Can you do something great?
No, Rajesh.
So many examples are there. I forgot the name of that surgeon. The best surgeon in the world, one of the best surgeons in the world, he wrote a book. He said he could not do a surgery for his mother. Why? His mind was anxious. So, there is a whole branch of science in the modern world. Emotional intelligence, right? You may have the whole knowledge in every bits and pieces you know. But if you are not stable, if you are not calm, if you are not focused, you cannot apply that knowledge into practice. Anyone here has this exam fever? Like if it is a real interview, you may not perform, but mock interviews you can do well. Why? Because my mind is not stable. In cricket, the best example. In the last over, if you need 10 runs or 15 runs, if you bat first, the batsman may hit easily. But if that is the winning shot of a World Cup, what is going to happen? The skill is there. But if the mind is not there, you cannot do anything. So the bottom line is that any goals of our life, be it spiritual, be it secular, you cannot do that efficiently if the mind is not in my hand. So you need to prepare your mind. You need to train your mind. You need to strengthen your mental muscle. Anybody who has gone to gym, you know that, right? You go for a strength training. Do you start with 25 pounds? They slowly build your muscles, and eventually you can lift it up. So you wanted to build your mental muscles slowly, so that you can gain that stability. So this is the main purpose of the meditation. And this type of meditation is generally known as Upasana Dhyanam. Upa-asana Dhyanam. Upa means closer. Asana means sitting. I am trying to sit closer to myself. So the mind is withdrawn from the world and trying to keep the mind closer to myself. That's what it means. There are different types of meditations one can follow to keep the mind quiet, to keep the mind calm, and this is known as Upasana Yoga in the Bhagavad Gita. Remember, Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. These are the three major topics of the Bhagavad Gita. So the role of meditation, major role of meditation for a beginning seeker is Upasana. There are different types of meditation one can use to stabilize the mind, to quieten the mind. There are different ways of dicing and slicing. If you read different books, you see different ways of dicing and slicing. It doesn't matter. You can categorize that in different forms. So I'm just giving you a little bit of theory. If you think about the whole scheme of meditation, there are two popular schools for this meditation, these type of meditations, meaning the Upasana type of meditation. One is the Hindu school, which is mainly defined by Maharshi Patanjali, that scheme. And then there is an alternate Buddhistic school, which is pretty much similar. There is nothing contradictory, nothing major. So the Hindu school is generally known as the Ashtanga Yoga, which you all know. And the Buddhistic school is known as Bhavana Krama. Bhavana Krama. Bhavana Krama is the meditation techniques taught by Bhagavan Buddha, which is documented by his disciples, and later a monk compiled everything and published it. And that monk's name is called Kamalashila. Kamalashila. So the sage Kamalashila published this book, Bhavana Krama, and this Bhavana Krama contains the meditation. And the Hindu schemes we all know, which is what we are studying through Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutra. So these meditations can be categorized into different types. The first category of this meditation is known as relaxation meditation. Relaxation meditation. The purpose is just to relax you. Your muscles will be tensed whenever you get stressed. What happens? The muscles get stressed, and if you relax it, you see that the mind is also relaxed. There is a perfect body-mind connection. And this is what is popular discovery called relaxation response in the modern scientific world. And this topic is clearly mentioned in the Mandukya Upanishad Karika of Gaudapada, but that is one set of meditation, relaxation meditation. Second type of meditation is known as concentration meditation. You do certain meditation technique to improve your focus or concentration. So that's very, very important. So there are several practices, the mantra, the meditation on a form of a deity. So many meditation techniques are there. So that is another category of meditation. So we talked about the relaxation meditation. We talked about the concentration meditation. And another meditation is there called expansion meditation. Expansion meditation means you're trying to visualize something big. It's kind of a visualization meditation. You visualize like sky. You visualize like ocean. Again, it can be used for relaxation. It can be used for concentration. This is known as expansion meditation. Fourth category is known as value meditation. You meditate upon certain values. You can use the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, or you can use the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita to meditate upon certain values. So these are the different types of categorization of the meditation. If you go to a meditation class in any yoga studio or in any yoga class, you will be learning one of these techniques. It will fall into one of these buckets: relaxation, concentration, value, expansion. Finally, that is one form of meditation, which is known as upasana. It is for calming your mind. It is stabilizing your mind. The benefit of this upasana meditation is called chitta sthiti. It is known as chitta sthiti, stability of the mind. Okay, so let's go to the second type of meditation. So the first meditation is known as upasana meditation. And the second category of under upasana meditation, you have this relaxation meditation, you have this concentration meditation, you have this expansion meditation, you have this value meditation. Second category of meditation. Imagine you gained your chitta siddhi through karma yoga, and imagine you gained your chitta sthiti, or the stability of the mind, through upasana yoga. Now what is next in your spiritual path? You wanted to understand yourself, which is the jnana yoga, right? So karma yoga, upasana yoga, jnana yoga. This is the scheme of Gita. We studied it a lot, multiple times. So once you have a stable mind and a pure mind, you want to use that mind to understand yourself. Imagine the 10th man. When his mind was disturbed, even if the passerby comes and say that you are the 10th man, he may not even listen it. So the prerequisite for gaining knowledge is what? It is the stable mind and the pure mind. So once the mind is pure, he starts to gain the knowledge. This knowledge-seeking process has 3 steps. The first step is known as Shravana. Shravana means you are introduced to the teachings of Vedanta. So the study of the scripture under a proper master for a sufficient period of time is known as Shravana. So this is topic number 1. When you start studying, naturally what you get? Doubts. So that needs to be contemplated and make sure that these doubts are removed. Basically what you say, connecting the dots. Making sure that the teaching makes sense to me. See, here nobody is asking you to believe something blindly. It should make sense to you. That is what is manana. So our scripture says that 1/4 of the knowledge you gain from the teacher. 1/4 of the knowledge you gain from your own contemplation. 1/4 of the knowledge you gain from the experience, means life experience. 1/4 is from the other people. But with the Shravanam and Mananam, you want to understand. Now, okay, I understood. I understood that I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I am the Atma. But there is one challenge. What is that challenge? I am programmed to think that I am the body. That is how I was for the last 30 years or 40 years or 50 years or 60 years. So habitually, I think that I am the body and the mind. Even though the scriptures convince me that I am the Atma, but habitual thinking is otherwise. So that is where we employ a special kind of meditation. And that meditation is known as Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana. This Nididhyasana is to keep you in the Jnana Nishtha. So once again, the Karma Yoga is going to give you the purity of the mind, Chitta Shuddhi. The Upasana meditation is going to give me the Chitta Sthiti, right? Shravanam Mananam is going to give me the knowledge. And Nididhyasanam is going to give me Jnana Nishtha. Jnana Nishtha means establishment in the knowledge. Mind you, Nididhyasanam is not going to give you knowledge, but Nididhyasanam will help me to stay in that knowledge. So now, if you go back and think about our original point, it makes total sense. Meditation is not used for gaining self-knowledge. Meditation is not used for gaining moksha. Meditation is not used for gaining mystical experience. Instead, meditation is used for relaxing my mind. Meditation is used for concentrating my mind. The meditation is used for expanding my mind. Meditation is used for planting values in my mind. Or I can say that the meditation is used for stabilizing and calming my mind as a whole. And all these meditation techniques are put together is known as Upasana Dhyanam. And then higher level meditation, which is Vedantic meditation, it is known as Nididhyasana. So this is the role of meditation in the spiritual swadhana. So we came across what is what is not meditation, what is meditation. Clear? Okay. So if that is understood, let's get into the structure of this chapter, the layout of this chapter. So this chapter has, in fact, 5 topics, or even we can call it as 6 topics. Let's try to understand one by one. The first topic, I would call it as general instructions. So now, what is general instruction? If I say, when you go to a yoga studio, you will be able to meditate, I'm giving you wrong expectation. If you want to follow meditation, you have to follow a lifestyle. If you want a stable, pure, calm mind, you need to follow a lifestyle, not something before the meditation. 24/7, you need to follow a lifestyle. And that instruction is given in detail in the Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter. Mainly, it is Karma Yoga, because without Karma Yoga, you won't get Samatvam of the mind. But one verse is here, which is probably one of the best verse in the whole scriptural literature. It is called Yuktahara Viharasya Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu Yukta Swapnavabodhasya Yogo Bhavati Dukha. What is that lifestyle you need to follow? Appropriate food in the right quantity, right? Appropriate activities of the body, right quantity, not too much, not too less. Appropriate recreation in the proper quantity, not too much, not too less. Appropriate sleep, not too much, not too less. This lifestyle is very important for pursuing meditation. I don't have to tell you, when this wellness studies came into the modern world, maybe 50 years back. Here you are 5,000 years back. Somebody is telling me Look at the quantity and quality of the food. Look at the body activity. Nobody has thought this 100 years back. This is needed. So appropriate amount activity, appropriate amount recreation, and appropriate amount sleep. This is one sample instruction. Like that, there are many instructions in this chapter which helps me to follow a yogic lifestyle, which is a prerequisite for practicing meditation. This is where the modern yoga studio approach and our Gita Yoga Sutra approach differs. In the modern yoga studio approach, like they say that, okay, you can go here and meditate. That is not what we are saying. And fortunately, the modern health science is giving us this guidance, right? So you have all these dietary plan. If you subscribe to any of things like, for example, Noom, or like a Daily Burn, or any such program you take, they talk about your quantity and the quality of your food. Isn't it? That's exactly what it is. So this type of instruction is given, and that is known as general instruction for meditation. So these instructions one has to follow 24/7. This is the lifestyle. Then the second topic in this chapter is called special instructions. Special instructions means before you get into meditation, before you go to a yoga mat and sit and meditate, what are all the instructions you need to follow? That is known as special instructions. So how to sit, what posture you need to select, how to concentrate, what do you need to do? The preparations for meditation. I would call this as special instruction. So general instruction, you have to follow that lifestyle always. And the special instruction, it is like what you need to do to prepare for the meditation. The next is the actual meditation. So in Sanskrit, the general instructions, generally we call it as Behiranga Sadhana. And the special instruction we call Antaranga Sadhana. And then the Dhyana Swarupam, which is how to meditate. What is the process of meditation? That is explained in this chapter. So that is the third subject matter. The fourth subject matter of this chapter is what are all the benefits of this meditation? Like if you follow these steps, what are all the benefits of this meditation? Krishna touches mainly on the highest benefits. Obviously, there are a lot of side benefits like your health, your stress, all those things will come. But the key focus here is the highest benefits. And then, in fact, I didn't put it, I put it as special cases. But before that, I would add one more topic, which is what are all the obstacles in your meditation and what are all the challenges. So that is the fifth topic, obstacles and challenges. And I would call the fifth case I put as the sixth case, which is the special cases. Special case means, suppose you undertake this sadhana, and if you don't reach the destination, what is going to happen? Yoga prashtaha. This is not a direct topic connected with meditation. That's why I didn't want to emphasize a lot, but it is covered in the chapter. So 6 topics covered on a high level. First is the general instruction. Second is the special instruction. The third one is the process of meditation. Fourth one is the benefit of meditation. And the fifth is the obstacles and challenges. And last one is a special topic, a special case topic, which is Yoga Prashta. So this is the layout of the chapter. Now, one problem is there. If you think first 10 verses are going to be general instruction, and then the next few verses are a special instruction, next few verses are Dhyana Swarupam, next verses are benefit, and the last topic is yoga prashta. No. Usually Gita has that sequence properly followed, but here from verse 1 to 47, these verses are mixed. There are several theories. The chapter contains everything, but it's not in a proper order. So it's my responsibility, or anybody who facilitates this teaching's responsibility, to present it in a proper order to you. Why it happened? One school tells that. How many verses has Mahabharata? Anybody can think of? 100,000 verses, right? Imagine you have 100,000 of something. How easy to keep it in a proper order? Remember, if you have 100 things in your basement, you cannot keep that in order. Now, if you think that 100,000 of different verses, and that too, it is propagated orally from one generation to the other for some time, there is a very good chance that it can get mixed up. But good thing is that it is there in this form itself is a big miracle. This chapter is fantastic, and these are the topics that are covered in the chapter. So that covers the key topics I wanted to cover. Let's quickly recap. So this chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is the 6th chapter. Up to 5 chapter, the main topic was Karma Yoga. And I purposefully didn't explain the Karma Yoga because we enough explained the Karma Yoga. We will take it back later. The purpose of the Karma Yoga is to purify my mind. Karma Yoga is also a preparatory sadhana. And this Karma Yoga, which is used for purifying the mind, but a purified mind alone is not used for gaining knowledge. You need the stability of, or the calmness of the mind. So for that, you need upasana. And that is why Krishna jumped into the upasana yoga. So this chapter, known as Dhyana Yoga, or this is the main means the Atma Samyama Yoga. These are the 2 terms used for this chapter. Whatever it is, it means meditation. And we started by seeing what is not the role of a meditation. We saw that it is not a means for self-realization. It is not a means for gaining self-knowledge. It can give mystical experience, but that is not the purpose of Bhagavad Gita or Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And I quoted Patanjali just to prove that meditation is not the means for self-knowledge, because Patanjali is considered as the pioneer in the art of meditation. And then what is the purpose of the meditation? First purpose is to gain or prepare my mind for higher goals. And that type of meditation is known as Upasana Dhyanam. And these Upasana Dhyanam, you will see relaxation meditation, you will see concentration meditation, you will see expansion meditation, you will see value meditation. And these all meditation, any meditation you go to a meditation studio or a yoga center, it will fall under that category. And the goal and the purpose of that type of meditation is to purify the mind. And finally, the second category of meditation is known as Nididhyasanam, and that is for removing the habitual understanding. That is the 2 types of meditation. And the layout of this chapter has on a high level 6 topics. The first topic is the general instruction, Bahiranga Sadhana. The second topic is Antaranga Sadhana, or specific instruction for meditation. The third topic is mainly the Dhyana Swarupam, or the process of the actual meditation. The fourth topic is the benefits of this meditation. And the fifth topic is what are all the obstacles in the path of meditation and how you can overcome it. And the last topic is a sidebar topic, which is known as Yoga Prashtaha. So only 5 topics related to meditation and 1 topic is extra. And I also said that the chapter is not exactly ordered or sequenced in this particular order, but I'll make sure that I will bucket it properly for you. And last thing is that, see, the meditation, there are a lot of benefits, right? The health benefit is there, the stress-related benefit is there, efficiency-related benefit is there. All that is good. But the ultimate goal here is to prepare your mind for delving into your own nature. That is why Yoga Sutra and Bhagavad Gita used meditation. But that doesn't mean that you won't reap the other benefits. Definitely you will get all such benefits. So let me pause here. Any questions, or otherwise we can, if time permits, we can request Anu to chant a few verses or the entire chapter. But before that, let's see. Means my only request for this particular time is try to follow. Clarity is more important than anything else. So we will dedicate some 10 minutes for Q&A. Ask any questions. No guarantee that I will answer everything or I can answer everything, but I'll try.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yes.
Rajesh? Yeah. So what's the difference between Ashtanga Yoga and Bhavana Krama from the Buddhist school?
There is a slight difference in the sequence. A few steps here and there is different. That's all. I can do a separate session on Bhavana Krama. It's because Ashtanga Yoga, it's Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, right? So they have 6 steps. Most of these steps are common, but some slight changes. If anybody is interested, there is a beautiful book called Mind Illuminated. Mind Illuminated. This is by John Eates. This book is a comprehensive book that talk about the entire Bhavana Krama.
Thanks.
Great.
Rajesh,
Yes, please. Hi, Shashankji.
how does Bhakti Yoga fit into all these things that we're discussing?
Bhakti Yoga is folded into Karma Yoga. So,
Okay.
yeah, Bhakti Yoga is, because without Bhakti Yoga, you cannot do the Karma Yoga. So, Bhakti Yoga means you are surrendering to Ishvara, and Karma Yoga is essentially you are surrendering to Ishvara, you are offering. Without Bhakti Yoga, you cannot do Karma Yoga, because you are doing all action in the spirit of Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. So Bhakti Yoga falls under Karma Yoga. So in the Bhagavad Gita, the whole idea means the 3 steps. The first step is Karma Yoga. The purpose of the Karma Yoga is to gain purity of the mind. And the second step is Upasana Yoga, which is to gain stability of the mind. And the third step is Jnana Yoga, which is to remove all the ignorance and know myself. And those who studied Veda, or those who, of course, none of us have studied Veda. It is impossible practically. But if you look at the structure of the Veda is broadly categorized into 3 categories. One is karma, second category is upasana, and the third category is jnana. You can see that same reflection in the Vedic structure itself.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. And Raja Yoga is a combination of all these. So in Raja Yoga, you can see Kriya Yoga, which corresponding to the Karma Yoga. And then you have the whole thing, right? You have the meditation is there. You have the Jnana Yoga is there. So Patanjali's scheme is a package which contains the entire spiritual practice. And that is why it is known as Raja, the king of yoga.
Hari Om Rajesh ji. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what are the common threads between Nididhyasanam and Patanjali Yoga Sutras?
Okay.
And
so,
what is the difference?
Okay. So Nididhyasanam is pure an Advaita Vedanta methodology. So it's a deeper question, but let me answer it. So if anybody is not following, please feel free to ask question. Patanjali Yoga Sutra approach at the end is, obviously the goal is the same. Whether it is the yoga school or Vedanta school, the goal is the same. Goal is to know myself, or to know the Purusha in the yoga language, or to know the Atma in the Vedantic language. So Patanjali's approach is, you study this knowledge, and after that, what do? You do these yoga practices in such a way that you're suspending every mental activities. So usually what happens, you are aware of something, right? Your consciousness, you are aware of your consciousness because the consciousness recognizes, for example, it could be a thought in your mind, or it could be a flower in the external world. So when the flower is there, a thought will be created in the mind that it is a flower, and the consciousness is aware of that. So Patanjali's approach is, when you suspend all the thoughts in your mind, the consciousness do not have anything else to recognize. That is the time it will recognize itself. So this is the approach of Patanjali. Vedanta is slightly different. Vedanta tells, right, same purpose. You wanted to know your Atma. So what you say is that it will tell you that you are the Atma, and it will give you a glimpse of that experience. But once you have that experience, it will let you contemplate upon that. Once you have that knowledge, it will help you to remove that habit. Because once you recognize the consciousness, for example, 1/10 of a second, if you can suspend everything, you know that, okay, this is Atma, that is my nature. And then it will help you to remove your habitual thinking, because by default, I think that I'm the body. So this Nididhyasanam will reverse that thinking. That's all. So there is a slight difference, but it's very subtle. And most of us won't even reach to that level. So this is not applicable to most of us. This is the highest point of the final journey. That is, the difference is very subtle. So this is the difference between Patanjali's scheme and this Vedanta methodology. Any other questions?
Rajesh, the question around the first slide where what it says, what is not meditation. But when we look at the self-knowledge and realization, liberation, would meditation not take us towards that path?
Meditation will help you to reinforce the knowledge. Meditation is not going to give you the knowledge.
Sure. And both are like, is that not interchangeable, like self-knowledge and liberation?
No, because see, think about that 10th man story. What can meditation give him? He is extremely sad. In fact, he is very much panic. Right? And what is the means for removing that panic state? Knowing that he is the 10th man, right? Because why he is panic? He thinks that somebody lost. Somebody is dead. Now, a passerby comes there and tells him, why are you crying? You are the 10th man. In that panic mode, it won't register. So you need a means to calm your mind so that you can receive the knowledge. A turbulent mind is not fit for Shravanam and Mananam. So that is purpose number 1. Purpose number 2 is, as I said, like the Karma Yoga gives the Chitta Shuddhi, Upasana Yoga gives the Chitta Sthiti, Shravanam Mananam gives knowledge. And Nididhyasanam gives what? Jnana Nishta. Shravanam Mananam gives jnanam, whereas Nididhyasanam gives jnana nishta. It will help me to stick with that knowledge. It's not giving you the knowledge directly, but it will help you to stick with that knowledge. This is the purpose of meditation. On a broader scale, you can say that, yeah, it will help you to gain self-knowledge. How? By helping us to stick. But technically, it is wrong to say that meditation is going to give me knowledge. It tells you that something mysticism is happening. And Vedanta don't like that. I still remember somebody was asking Swami Dayananda, that means you're saying that it is the knowledge seeking is an intellectual activity. His response was, of course it is an intellectual activity. It is not a nasal activity. Right? Knowledge can take place only in the head, intellect. Your nose cannot think, it cannot, anything else cannot give you. If you need knowledge, if ignorance is the problem, what is the solution? Prayer is not the solution. Meditation is not the solution. Per the Advaita Vedanta school, I'm not talking about the Dvaita school, right? So we just need to stay that we are sticking with the Advaita Vedanta. So when you think about the Advaita Vedanta, we don't believe in all those things, meaning it can help you. The bhakti can help you to stabilize my mind, prepare my mind, but ultimately, only knowledge can liberate you. And that is what Upanishads tells. Even in the 5th chapter we saw, right? Nahi jnanena sadrishyam pavitrameva ujyate, right? And only knowledge. Jnanam eva moksha karanam. Only knowledge take you to the moksha. Nothing else. We are not, then you may ask you, are you fanatic? You're saying that only the knowledge. We didn't say that only the knowledge from our scriptures. Any proper teaching will take you. That's it. Any other question? So is it clear? The topics are clear. 2 topics. Just I'll try to recap every day so that it will be clear in your mind. You can just make 2 sets of notes, and then if you write it down, you will not forget it. Any questions? Please post in the WhatsApp. It's 9:30, so probably we'll chant next time. We have Sanjay ji, Anu, everybody is there. Anybody interested in learning chanting, you can send a message and then you can do. I would suggest each one of you put your own notes. Right? If I just give the notes, of course, means this, I don't have slides. These are Prasi. So it just, whatever I type, it comes in. So better to prepare your own notes, then you will not forget. Any questions or comments? Okay, so I know we'll do the final chanting. We will chant the verses next week.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.